Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the April 16th, 2025 Lenawee County Board of Commissioners meeting. I'd ask everyone to silence their cell phones if they have them, with the exception of our law enforcement and emergency services. So if everyone would please rise, we'll have an invocation offered by our county clerk, Roxanne Holloway, which she will follow up with the pledge.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we just gather here this afternoon. We thank you for the promise of new life that Easter brings. May we approach this meeting with heart filled with hope and renewed determination. Guide the discussion that is shared, Lord. Grant wisdom in the decisions made. May the work today bring glory to your name. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And thank you, Clerk Holloway. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Ungst.
Here.
Commissioner Blanco. Here. Commissioner Collins.
Here.
Commissioner Daly.
Here.
Commissioner Krasny.
Here.
Commissioner Martis.
Here.
Commissioner Stimson.
Here.
Commissioner Tillotson.
Here.
And Commissioner Van Doren.
Here.
9 present.
Approval of the minutes of March 27th, 2025 would be in order.
So moved. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There are no additions or corrections. I move they be approved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Collins, supported by Commissioner Martis. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carried. Petitions and communications. Heard me? Okay. Petitions or communications? Amendments to the agenda.
If there are no other amendments to the agenda, I would move that we accept it as printed.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Martis. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Agenda set. Introduction of special guests.
We have a room full of them.
We do. Welcome, everyone. Yes, we have a room full. Limited public comment for any item on the agenda. Limited public comment for agenda items. I didn't have any passed up, so resolutions and proclamations. We're honored this afternoon to have the Tecumseh High School girls basketball here, and your commissioner, David Stimson. Commissioner Stimson is going to offer a proclamation. So if you would all come forward, please. Commissioner Stimson.
Yes, absolutely, girls. Young women, why don't you come on up here? I'm pleased to have had children who graduated from Tecumseh as well and played sports with many of you. Appreciate you beating up on them for all those years. For those of you in the room, this is the Tecumseh women's varsity basketball team who has just recently successfully completed a state championship run. For the first time since 1974 in girls basketball, we have state champions from Lenawee County here and Tecumseh in particular. What an achievement, right? So I'm going to offer this recognition to the girls basketball team that on March 22nd, the Tecumseh High School girls basketball team achieved a remarkable victory, capturing the MHSAA Division II state championship trophy. And whereas the team's 54-44 triumph at the Breslin Center in East Lansing marked their first state championship win since 1974 and was the third all-time trip to the state championship game. And whereas the third quarter, Tecumseh was in the lead by just 1 point. However, the team held on to the lead the rest of the game while honoring late coach Bart Bartzel. And whereas the historic accomplishment is a testament to the dedication, perseverance, and teamwork of the players, coaches, and supporters who made this victory possible. Therefore, be resolved that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners extends a heartfelt congratulations to the high school girls team and Coach Zajac for the outstanding achievements and well-deserved victory. Be it resolved further and proclaimed that the team and Coach Zajac carry the pride of this victory with the team for many years to come, and always remembering the collective effort and support that made it possible. I so move.
Support.
Hand this to you, Coach.
I have a resolution offered by Commissioner Stimson, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Daly, Commissioner Krasny,
Yes.
Commissioner Martis.
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson,
Yes.
Commissioner Tillotson.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren.
Yes.
Commissioner Ungst.
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
9 yeas.
Resolution passes.
I just want to thank everyone for having us here today. This is a special team and a special moment. This is one of the best teams I've ever seen come out of Lenawee County. Not only did we finish with a record of 28-1, but we had the second hardest schedule in the entire state of Michigan, all divisions combined. The only team that was ahead of us was Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard. They were ranked #1 all season. We ended up beating them at home at our place in the regional championship game to move on to the quarterfinals, and then eventually winning the state championship, which was amazing. And not only did they accomplish so many things in the record books, we will be in there forever, as we were ranked #1 and #2 in all the categories and everything that we've done this season. But these girls had an overall GPA record of 3.8976. Wow. And most of them had a GPA of over 4.0, but we could only count a 4.0 scale. So most of them take AP classes, they take college courses. They are very smart, dedicated, not only to school, but also to their athletic teams. And most of them are multi-sport athletes. We had almost all of them played on the state finals team for volleyball as well, who made it to the state championship team as well. So these girls are just some of the hardest working players that I've ever coached, and very, very smart and dedicated to everything, and great role models for our student athletes and all of the younger kids in our community in Lenawee County. So thank you so much for acknowledging all the hard work that they've put in. I'll have the seniors come up where they're going. We have a lot of people going to play other places, but they've accomplished a lot of great things. This is a great senior class. I think our record for their 4 years was like 114 and 9. So it was pretty amazing over these past 4 years. Go to college, what you're going to do? Okay.
Okay, I'm Ashlyn Moorhead. I'm going to Adrian College to play basketball and study exercise science.
I'm Lauren Kilbarger. I'm going to Siena Heights to play volleyball and study business.
I'm Allie Zajac. I'm going to Eastern Michigan University, and I'm going there to play basketball and be an architect.
I'm Faith Wiedeich, and I'm going to Jackson College to study marketing.
That's all of our seniors. Thank you for the opportunity to let them speak today and showcase what great talent we have in Tecumseh. Thank you, girls.
It's amazing.
We have a resolution to be offered by Commissioner Blanco for Volunteer Appreciation Month. So all of those volunteers, please come forward. We have
Big crowds today.
I guess.
Take the mic.
Okay.
Gonna need this.
I know. Keep moving.
Right, are we ready? Great. I think we're as good as it's gonna get. So we are here to recognize Volunteer Appreciation Month, and we have a lot more people than I have proclamations for, but I will read this and we will honor everybody. So whereas April is recognized as Volunteer Appreciation Month to honor the hard work and dedication of volunteers nationwide, and whereas county volunteers provide essential services across various programs supporting our community and county departments, and we wish to recognize those volunteers today. And whereas volunteers with the Lenawee County Department of Aging assist with meal delivery, transportation, activities at the senior centers and daybreak, and serve on advisory boards, helping our growing senior population. And whereas Michigan State University Extension in Lenawee County relies on 238 volunteers who support 4-H members through education, leadership, and events, making a lasting impact on youth and families. And whereas volunteers with Veterans Affairs provide transportation for local veterans to medical appointments, offering crucial support to our heroes. And whereas the Sheriff's Office benefits from volunteers through Reserve Deputies, Mounted Unite, and Victim Services Unit, helping to keep our communities safe. And whereas solid waste collection events rely on volunteers to ensure safe disposal of items and protect our community environment. And whereas the County Emergency Management Office may call on local individuals, businesses, and organizations to aid the county in times of local emergencies or disasters. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we express our heartfelt gratitude to all county volunteers for their invaluable contributions to our community. Be it further proclaimed that Lenawee County Board of Commissioners encourage others to join in volunteering, as every contribution, big or small, creates positive change. Passed by roll call vote of the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners at a regular meeting held Wednesday, April 16th, 2025 in the old courthouse, Adrian, Michigan.
Support.
A motion by Commissioner Collins, supported by Commissioner Krasny. Discussion. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Krasny,
Yes.
Commissioner Martis.
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson.
Yes.
Commissioner Tillotson.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren.
Yes.
Commissioner Unks.
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Daly.
Yes.
9 yeas.
Resolution passes.
Would you like to say a few words? I always like to say a few words. I just want to say what an amazing community Lenawee County has. This sampling of volunteers that are around and behind me can only be a tiny, tiny drop of water of the great ocean that we have of volunteers in Lenawee County. I know for my department, the Department on Aging, we could certainly not do what we do. We are a staff of about 80, and we have hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that make it possible for us to do what we do each and every day. And we are extremely grateful for them. And so we thank you all for what you do.
And on behalf of the Sheriff's Office and personally, I'd like to thank all of our volunteers. We have our reserve unit. We could not do what we do without our reserve unit. At a moment's notice, we can send out a page and they're there. Also, our mounted unit that is invaluable, not only here, but in the surrounding counties. Again, all we have to do is call them, and if it's a missing person, whatever it is, they're there. And last but not least, our victim service unit. We've had some tragic things happen in Lenawee County. Not only does the Sheriff's Office reach out for them, our other local agencies utilize the victim service unit and our fire department. So they're there to comfort those that need comforting, and I want to thank all of them for what they do.
And for the Lenawee County Department of Veteran Affairs, I just want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our veteran drivers and our non-veteran drivers. You don't need to be a veteran to drive for the DAV. And our drivers take Lenawee County veterans up to their medical appointments, up to the Ann Arbor Medical Center, the VA, and they bring them back, and they go 5 days a week. And they're just a phone call away for our veterans. And Department on Aging is able to coordinate for those that are home to get to us to go up there. So for our service provides continuity in the medical care for our local veterans.
Thank you guys so much. And I do have some certificates here. I will get the other ones to you guys in a few minutes. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll squish together. So much. Where the last one goes right now.
Don't read this.
We have a Corrections Officers Week proclamation to be offered by Commissioner Collins.
Couple of tough acts to follow, but certainly no less deserving.
Wow.
Whereas in 1984, President Ronald Reagan signed Proclamation 5187, establishing National Corrections Officers Week. And since then, the first full week of May has been recognized as a time to honor the vital contributions of corrections officers and correctional personnel across the nation. And whereas the responsibilities of corrections officers continue to evolve, becoming increasingly complex and demanding as they balance custodial, supervisory, and counseling duties, all while maintaining the safety and security of our communities. And whereas corrections officers are highly trained professionals who remain vigilant and steadfast in the face of ever-present challenges, earning our deepest respect, gratitude, and admiration for their unwavering dedication. And whereas the men and women working in corrections play a critical role in shaping our community safety and well-being, often making personal sacrifices to ensure a secure and orderly environment for all. Therefore, be it resolved that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners hereby recognizes and proclaims the week of May 4th through May 10th, 2025 as Correctional Officers Week. And be it further proclaimed that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners take this opportunity to express our heartfelt appreciation to our local corrections officers and their tireless service, recognizing their commitment and the invaluable work they perform each day. We honor the sacrifices they make and are profoundly grateful for their continued dedication to our community. I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, supported by Commissioner Martis. Discussion. Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Martis.
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson.
Yes.
Commissioner Tillotson.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren.
Yes.
Commissioner Ungst.
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins, Commissioner Daly, Commissioner Krasny,
Yes.
9 yeas.
Resolution passes.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank all of our corrections officers and acknowledge them. And they have a very difficult job to do, and they do it very well. There's times over the last year that they've been very shorthanded, and they just rolled up their sleeve and did what needed to be done. Worked a lot of overtime and a lot of shifts. And then if that wasn't enough, we threw about 3 or 4 or 10 projects in there as well. And they didn't blink an eye. So they have done an outstanding job, and I just want to thank them. I want to turn this over to Captain Casey and let him say a couple words.
Thank you, Sheriff. I actually retired from corrections back in 2021 after a long career at another county. And I thought I was done until the sheriff kind of pulled me out of retirement. Needless to say, it was a huge hurdle to overcome to come back out of retirement, but I knew that I had a passion for corrections. And so I took him up on it and kind of walked into a little bit of a mess. But like the sheriff said, over the last couple of years, we were able to overcome a lot. We're able to get our staffing up, and the women and men that we have working is what makes my job easy. We have a wonderful group of people, and I couldn't be happier to work with them. So thank you.
You know, it's more difficult than it looks.
We have a resolution for National Police Officers Week that will be presented by Commissioner Ungst.
I'm honored to be presenting this today. Coming from the law enforcement family, I have 33 years at the Lenawee County Sheriff's Office. So again, it's a huge privilege to be able to present this today. Whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th of each year to be National Peace Officers Memorial Day and designated the week this date falls within as National Police Week. And whereas members of law enforcement deserve the appreciation and respect of the people of Lenawee County for the merit, dignity, bravery, reliability they exhibit every day. We also recognize and honor the sacrifices made by their families as each day they face the uncertainty of their loved ones return home. And whereas Lenawee County and all Michigan citizens have turned to members of law enforcement for assistance and support in times of distress, whether they are coping with a personal crisis, struggling through civil disorder, or a natural disaster. We rely on these courageous individuals when it is difficult to stand on our own, and we are indebted to the unwavering public support of our local sheriff, police officers, state police. We are indeed fortunate and grateful for the contributions of law enforcement officers to the people of this state. Whereas we pray for the safety and protection of all 800,000 plus sworn law enforcement officers being vigilant throughout the county and great nation despite nearly 500,000 violent crimes committed each year. Whereas we publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in our county as well as those of our state and nation, and honor police who place their lives on the line for the safety and security of their communities. Whereas the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners remembers and honors the ultimate sacrifice that the following 8 Lenawee County officers have made: Adrian City Police, Officer Dennis Lyons and Bobby Williams; Clayton Village, Constable Richard Teskey; Lenawee County Sheriff, Deputy Stanley Posington; Michigan State Police Troopers Kelvin Jones, Dugald Pellet, Roger Adams, and Byron Erickson. We will never forget the officers who gave the ultimate sacrifice and their families. Whereas Lenawee County's fallen officers will never be forgotten, nor will their service to our communities. By choosing to commit themselves to law enforcement, these brave individuals answered the call for service and willingly put their lives in jeopardy. We commend them for choosing a noble career in protecting the public safety. Whereas on May 15th, we humbly request that flags throughout the county be flown at half-staff to commemorate Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Day and to honor those who are serving our county. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim the week of May 11th through May 17th, 2025 as Police Officers Week in Lenawee County and calls upon the citizens and the community to show our sincere appreciation and support for the police officers of Lenawee County by deed, remark, and attitude, and to honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Passed by a roll call vote of the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners at a regular meeting held April 16th, 2025 in Adrian, Michigan. I so move.
Support.
We have a resolution offered by Commissioner Unk, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Discussion. Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Stimson.
Yes.
Commissioner Tillotson.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren.
Yes.
Commissioner Unks.
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Daly.
Yes.
Commissioner Krasny.
Yes.
Commissioner Martis.
Yes.
9 yeas.
Resolution passes.
Again, I want to thank our hardworking deputies. Every year when we do this, usually the room is not filled with the deputies because every year they're out doing the job. And I want to commend them for a fantastic job that they do every single day to protect the citizens of Lenawee County. It's been a tough last couple of years, last few years. And for those who are getting into the field, I thank them too, because more are exiting than they are getting into the field. And we thank them, and we want everyone to be safe. May 15th, we will be at Oakwood Cemetery and recognizing those that gave their lives for the profession. I want to turn this over to Captain Pfeiffer to say a couple words.
Nothing like getting put on the spot on this one. I first want to thank the rest of our leadership team here to be supporting all of us. We have a great working relationship between corrections, dispatch, and law enforcement services. So we all work very well together to provide the best service we can to the citizens of Lenawee County. Our men and women in law enforcement, they're out there working hard, they're solving crimes, and they are some of the most dedicated people I've ever met. Quick story, we have some people in the police academy at in Lansing Community College. We've sent numerous through Washington Community College. Every time in the academies, they say that the people that we have serving our community are some of the best that they've come across through their academies, as well as those of us that help instruct there. So I thank them. They work their tails off for everyone out here, and they do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So for those that can make it to the memorial service, we'd welcome you, and our own Commissioner Collins will be presenting the county proclamation at that memorial. No special presentations. I think we had a number of them. Approval of the consent agenda for April 25th. I have a motion by Commissioner Stimson, supported by Commissioner Martis. Discussion. Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Tillotson.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren.
Yes.
Commissioner Unks.
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Krasny,
Yes.
Commissioner Martis,
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson.
Yes.
9 yeas.
Consent agenda passes. We'll go to standing committee reports. We'll start out with accounts payable by Commissioner Martis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The minutes are there in your pack. The County Accounts Payable Committee met on March 20th and April 3rd of 2025. The Accounts Payable Committee approved the payments of the March 13, 2025 check run in the amount of $3,150,958.72, with the general funds portion being $183,101.66. The March 20th, 25 check run in the amount of $183,474.25, with the general funds portion being $191,342.62. Did I miss one? Oh, the March 27th check run in the amount of $990,054.34, with the general funds portion being $96,303.99. And the April 3rd check run in the amount of $850,205.30, with the general funds portion being $191,342.62. We request the approval of the accounts payable payments in the amount of $5,174,692.61, with the general funds portion being $662,090.89. I so move.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Commissioner Collins. Thank you. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Criminal Justice Committee, Commissioner Collins.
Criminal Justice met on the 3rd of this month. Notes are in your packet. Of importance, the Emergency Operations Center restructure is nearing completion. There's a video drone review, and I think most, if not all, of the commissioners have had an opportunity to view it, but the drone was used in a couple of large fires, one in downtown Adrian, and one at a barn fire. The drone, according to Chief Massengale from Adrian Fire, probably saved adjacent buildings down from the fire, because they were able to spot from the drone exactly where hot spots were and direct firemen to those hot spots, rather than just punching holes in the roof until they finally found the hot spots. The medical examiners participating in career fairs at schools, last one being Adrian, and the rest of the information is in your packets. So I'll answer any questions.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Collins. IT and Equalization, Commissioner Krasny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. IT and Equalization met on Thursday, April 3rd. We had a really good meeting. Jennifer, who sits back here and is in charge of our communications, gave us another great update about the expansion of our various tools to engage with our constituents and our residents here in Lenawee County, up to 25,000 social media interactions. And Chairman Van Dorn was asking about making board appointments more available on the website so we can fill up some of these slots that we've had for a long time. Equalization Director DeLong said the March Board of Review have closed and submitted their information. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Krasny. Personnel, Ways and Means, Commissioner Martis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The minutes from our meeting, which took place yesterday, are in your packet. I believe all the items there were on our consent agenda.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Martis. Policies and Procedures, Commissioner Collins.
Policy and procedures met on the 14th. Information is in your packet. We voted at the meeting to send the personnel handbook and airport driving policies to the board, which was acted on the consent agenda. Administrator Murphy distributed a sheet listing those policies which are further in need of review or haven't been reviewed recently.
Those are not on the consent agenda, Commissioner. We have to pass those.
To be acted on.
I move we adopt the airport driving policy. Am I doing the right thing there?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. Sorry. It's okay. We'll get through this together.
We have a motion offered by Commissioner Martis, supported by Commissioner Collins on the airport driving policy. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Motion to approve the personnel handbook as submitted.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Collins, supported by Commissioner Martis. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Any questions? Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Physical Resources, Commissioner Krasny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Physical Resources Committee met Thursday, April 3rd with Commissioners Tillotson and Commissioner Blanco present. There was a lot of updates on all the work that's being done on our county facilities. They're currently working on the HVAC at the dispatch center, which has been a problem for a number of years to keeping the temperature consistent in there for our county employees, whether it's winter or summer. It's a challenge. So they're putting in some extra time and effort and resources into improving that for our county employees. The Verigy lighting project is ongoing. And we are very saddened to know that our longtime superintendent of grounds and maintenance, Tim Meehan, is going to be retiring soon. We also discussed meeting with the Tecumseh Products Property Subcommittee and the City of Tecumseh. And we also approved staging for consumers' trucks on the Tecumseh Products site as they continually upgrade some sites in the City of Tecumseh. With that, sir, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Krasny. Board appointment reports, Airport Commission, Commissioner Collins.
The airport board met on the 14th. There's a report on the maintenance programs ongoing at the airport, which are considerable and lengthy. The airport director has updated the hangar contracts as they were sporadic and misaligned around. Now he has a fairness to the hangars for all people involved, then they're having similar contracts. The original sign for the airport was blown down during one of the storms. There's a temporary sign up now. A new sign is being prepared for it. And they're all getting ready for the NASCAR race on the 8th of June, which will involve a lot of air traffic coming in and out.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Community Action Agency, Commissioner Stimson.
Community Action Agency met on March 27th as a joint policy board meeting with the Head Start aspects. Not long after most of the people that were there, they had about 37 youth there for what's called their VITA program, helping elderly and individuals under a certain income level file income tax returns for both federal and state, which makes them qualified and verified for any of the programming. They were recalled within a few days of being on site, so they weren't able to do any of that work by the federal government. And for the most part, everything else was business as usual.
Questions for Commissioner Stimson? Thank you, Dave. Community Mental Health, Commissioner Stimson.
Wasn't able to make that one because it conflicted with the community action.
Anything, Commissioner Tillotson?
Different. Yeah.
Planning Commission, Commissioner Blanco.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met on March 20th, and we considered four agenda items. The packet is in there. Three of them were township zoning amendments, one in Franklin Township, somebody requesting to go from agricultural to commercial. They're opening up a repair shop. One in Fairfield Township that is agricultural, but want to put some housing, and so they needed an amendment, and that was approved. And then a kind of interesting one, an off-road vehicle one in Fairfield Township. They want to allow a resident that is paralyzed to be able to drive an ORV around town, and it required a change in zoning to do that. We approved all three of those. And then a PA 116 farmland agreement in Blissfield Township that was considered and approved. And that concludes. I have a meeting tomorrow for this month.
Questions for Commissioner Blanco? Thank you both. Department on Aging, Commissioner Collins.
Department on Aging met on March 27th. Discussion about the May 4th Activities Fair at the Piotr Center, which is a display of all the activities available for senior citizens. There was an overview discussion on the various boards. Considerable discussion on the budget and the concerns for that. They're now working on a 5-year budget plan. And we have two new members, Alan Dickerson and Chris Peoples.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Terry. Department of Health and Human Services, Medical Care Facility, Commissioner Tillotson.
We met this morning at 10 o'clock. Just talked in general. They said that there were 14,790 people on Medicare in March, which is a considerable number, 15% of the whole county. That was a big thing, but just talked in general.
Questions for Commissioner Tillotson? Thank you, Ralph. Emergency 911 Board and Health Board were reported out at the night meeting. Homeland Security and Local Emergency Management, Commissioner Collins.
LAPC met on the 15th of this month. The reports out of the EMC and the 911 center. The drone committee again gave a report on the use of the drones at the two significant fires. There was some discussion about the concern and the problems at the Tecumseh Dam during the storm period. All gates had to be opened because of the possibility of overflooding, which could have created problems elsewhere, but all is well now. There is training forthcoming. Sand Creek High School active shooter, 514 ProMedica active shooter, 423 to 29 countywide active shooter program. Hazmat derail program, which is be scheduled for the fall, and a commissioner active shooting program scheduled for this late summer.
Questions for Commissioner Collins, Commissioner Martis.
Just a comment with respect to the dam, seeing as Blissfield is downstream, of course, we were watching that very closely. I do appreciate Administrator Murphy staying in close contact with us and Commissioner Scheffler and the entire team. So it was good. A lot of misinformation circulating on social media, and it was good to have a reliable source to put some of that to rest. So thank you, everybody.
Tell me 2 days we shut down.
They said the dam had failed and I'm like, no, it hasn't.
Thank you. Commissioner Krasny.
I concur with Commissioner Martis, and those were scary few days for our county, and our county government went to act rather quickly, and we kind of dodged a big one, so.
And thank you to our drain commissioner. He's here with us today. Any other?
We shouldn't leave out emergency management and Craig Tanis in particular.
Oh, yeah,
who
correct.
was leading point on that entire aspect. Craig did a wonderful job reaching out through the different communities, understanding the topography along with Ed between the two communities to allow that to happen. Part of the reason for the overflow, besides just obviously rain, is that the spillway in the Tecumseh Dam along Redmill Pond is under construction and closed. Otherwise, it would have normally spilled, allowing a little bit slower discharge of water. Hats off to both Ed and Craig for the work that you guys did there, making sure everybody was informed of the communities to make sure the gates were going in and out just to adjust that flow so you didn't have to close 223.
Thank you, Commissioner Simpson. You're right. Craig Tanis was a good go-to person to keep all the information coming in. So thank you for that, everyone. Land Bank Authority, Commissioner Collins.
Did not meet.
Okay. Lenawee Transportation, Commissioner Tillotson.
They meet on a week from tomorrow.
Okay. Under MAC, MAC did not have a meeting this last month because we had a conference, but I'm happy to report that our administrator and our deputy administrator and Commissioner Collins all attended on behalf of Lenawee County and would ask them to go ahead and report out. So we'll start out with Administrator Murphy.
So I wrote something up for you here. It's not very long, but I didn't want to leave anything out. And so the two of you, please jump in there if I have. We had several local and federal legislative updates, including discussions on the future cuts to funding that may be on the horizon, including cuts to CDBG funding, home programs, FEMA, and many more programs that are potentially being cut. There were sessions on Michigan's juvenile bed shortage, ransomware attacks, housing, road funding, and healthcare challenges. And we also received updates on the advocacy group that is once again attempting to secure signatures to have the Axe My Tax language added to a future ballot. This session included the potential fiscal carnage that could come as a result if this were to make it to the ballot and to pass. There was a legislative roundtable wherein 4 legislators, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, responded to a variety of questions. Audience members were given the ability to write their questions down and have them be answered. The one interesting question that got quite a few laughs was whether the state of Michigan would consider a DOGE, a Department of Government Efficiency. The final presentation, and of course, we did not get a response to that question, just in case you were wondering. The final presentation was regarding workplace trends and strategies for county leaders. As commissioners, you should be aware that the new commission training 1.0 is transitioning to a new commissioner training 2.0, which will allow for more in-depth training and certifications over the new 4-year terms that you are all currently serving. MAC did also provide us with access to meeting materials, so if you are interested in viewing any of those materials, please let me know and I can get you the information. That covers the session.
And did Deputy Administrator Elliott have anything to add?
No, I believe that Administrator Murphy covered the conference.
Commissioner Collins?
I believe she has covered it well. Just a quick statement that it was made at the conference. The MIDC program, Michigan Indian Defense Council, has been extended to juveniles also, which has put a further burden on the public defender's office.
Okay, good. Thanks. And thank you for those reports. Did you have anything under Deputy Elliott under judicial public safety? I didn't.
Yes, the MAC Public Safety or Judicial and Public Safety met on March 24th of 2025. We had a presentation from Representative Sarah Leitner. As Commissioner Collins just indicated, the major conversation or presentation was regarding adding juveniles to the Michigan Indian Defense Commission. And we also talked about some of the problems with that, if you will, the lack of attorneys, costs, and things of that nature. They have added already a juvenile justice specialist to the commission, as the justice system for juveniles is vastly different than the adult system. So they'll be holding those attorneys to those same standards that they hold the MIDC attorneys for in the adult system. They also came out of the House Bill 4018, which will allow juveniles above the age of 16 to be transported with adults under the age of 25 if they are co-defendants or they were in the same vehicle when they were arrested. This will help our sheriff's department and law enforcement without having to bring 2 cars to a situation to move the juvenile and the adult to their housing locations. That's pretty much it.
Thank you. Questions? Thank you, Deputy Administrator Elliott. So Marie Spear Campus, Commissioner Collins.
Marie Spear Campus met on April 2nd. The population at the time was 22 residents, 6 of whom were from out of county. Discussion on the April 4th tour of the campus. Construction, they estimated was about at 48%. And they are also checking their trees to make sure they're compliant with the airport requirements. Other than that, minutes are in your packet.
Questions? Commissioner Martis?
Just remind everybody that we're also scheduled a tour of the campus on April 24th for the commissioners.
And that'll be followed by May 11th. There'll be when they have their meeting, if anybody can't make it on the 24th. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Michigan Works, Commissioner Collins, I think that's every other month, right?
Yeah, did that be?
Thank you. Parks Commission, Commissioner Tillotson, got one coming up, right?
Monday.
Region 2 Planning, Commissioner Tillotson.
Did not meet this month.
Solid Waste and Materials Management, Commissioner Stimson.
Materials Management met on the 2nd of April. Solid Waste met on the 8th of April. Primarily, they reviewed some of the slow movement on the state on behalf of their approval of their plan, but also they discovered that the tire recycling grant was not going to be authorized by Eagle this year. And so they utilized fund reserves that they had in order to allow that to move forward by being funded locally. Other than that, it was pretty much business as usual.
Questions for Commissioner Stimson? Thank you, David. Substance Abuse Disorder Oversight Policy, Commissioner Tillotson.
We did meet last Wednesday, quite a lengthy meeting. Talked mainly about 2 or 3 suits that they've got. And it went from 5 to about 8 o'clock. So They talked about a lot, but a lot nobody could understand after they got done talking about it.
Questions for Commissioner Tillotson? Thank you, Ralph. Liaison reports, MTA, Michigan Township Association, Commissioner Blanco.
That did not meet last month. It only meets about 3, maybe 4 times a year. Monday coming up the next one, and then the following one is in September. So I'll have a report next month.
Thank you. Road Commission, Commissioner Martis.
Road Commission meets twice a month. I try to attend at least one of their meetings. I attended 2 weeks ago. They meet again tomorrow. I won't attend that one. Everything seemed in order and nothing out of the ordinary to report.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Martis. Veterans Affairs, Commissioner Collins.
Veterans Affairs met on the 14th of March. Minutes are in your packet. The discussion on the food card distribution to veterans. There was one burial paid for from a Vietnam veteran. Kudos went out to Jennifer for helping envelop and institute their website. They have some concern about budget reduction at the state level, and the April meeting, due to a lack of members, will be canceled.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Did I miss any? We got them all. Unfinished business. Any unfinished business? New business, administrator, strategic planning.
Well, I appreciate it's not necessarily the administrator's strategic planning, but I will speak
Oh, I-
upon that. So as part of the 2025 budget process, you did allocate $50,000 to put towards developing a strategic plan. So I've attached in the packet a copy of the 2013 plan, which was the last time a plan was prepared. Going forward, I thought it might be good to start having that discussion of what you think this process will look like. I don't know if you want to take requests for proposals to have an agency come in to direct you through the process. I don't know if you want to take a look at the 2013 plan and revise that plan. I thought that here we are in April, it might be good to start planning that. So hopefully by the end of the year, we can be through the process to be able to have implementation in 2026. As the departments have been going through their operational goals and objectives for this year, it's helpful to know where the commission is on their operational goals and objectives so that the departments can align theirs to match those of the commission and what they envision the county and how they envision the county moving forward. So that's why I thought it was important for us to get started on this, but I wanted to leave that to you for your discussion on how you would like us to proceed.
Discussion ideas. Commissioner Martis.
It's to my discredit that I did not review the 2013 plan until now. Am I correct in seeing that it's only 9 pages long?
That's about the length of it, yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes, it is.
Not $50,000 is a lot for 9 pages. I don't know, of course, what we procure for that, but I'm glad to see this. And I guess my thought is I, of course, would like to consider it over the next month and come up with some ideas on how to proceed.
Any other ideas? Thoughts? Administrator Murphy.
I just want to clarify that 50,000 is in the budget for going forward. The 2013 plan was done internally, so there was not a $50,000 figure attached to the preparation of that document. Okay.
There are companies that put these together, correct?
Yes.
I mean, could we reach out to them and tell them that we're looking at a strategic plan and maybe get some ideas from them?
So are you looking for us to put out maybe some requests for proposals to contact them and have them propose their ideas of what it would look like?
Commissioner Stimson.
Yes, Minister Murphy. Generally speaking, when we go to the public, we use the RFP process. Thank you for that. I think the question before you even do that, though, Mr. Chairman, is that perhaps a conversation about what scope of plan we're really looking for would be appropriate so that when we do an RFP, it has some guidance to it. You can have strategic planning go down a lot of rabbit trails. So it can become quite an ordeal. And I think maybe we need to give it some boundaries and some parameters that would help detail out what an RFP would look like to have some professional guidance with that. That would be my suggestion. You could do that in a month. I don't think it matters if we do it in a month or 2 months, or I don't think we're a huge hurry.
Commissioner Martis.
Just a question. How often have we referred to this strategic plan? How much has it been a guiding document for us? Just to get a sense of what value we could actually get from this.
From my perspective, I have gleaned over that to try to make sure that the things that we are doing are in line with that. But as a commission, I can't tell you when the last time was that the commission pulled it up to review it to make sure that we were driving in the direction of that particular document.
Commissioner Stimson.
Preceding probably 2020, it was referenced fairly often but loosely, in meaning that a project might have been identified or a sector might have been identified about a goal to achieve. And so those committees that would have been in charge of those kind of ran down those particular goals. But it wasn't referred to like a master plan, if that's what you're asking, Commissioner Martis. It's never been used that way. And generally the plans aren't used that way. They're more of a guiding force of where you want to focus the energy. And again, this is exactly what that scope parameter would be about.
So would you like to take this month, review the previous plan and look for points for the scope of what we want to do in the plan and bring back ideas at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Commissioner Martis.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. And of course, I can Google these too, but I wonder if we could find a few other strategic plans from neighboring counties that we could take a look at to see what theirs look like.
I have reached out to the administrators listserv, and I did have a few counties provide me with their strategic plan. Not a lot of them replied to my request, so I don't have a ton, but we can go to websites, I mean, that sort of thing, and you can feel free to do that also as you're considering what we might want to do going forward. And I think really what we're looking for here is, are there very specific goals or objectives that the commission wants to accomplish over the next X number of years? Making the goals a little bit more SMART goal oriented, making them more measurable and attainable so that we can say, yes, we actually accomplished that, rather than having goals that say continue to do and then fill in the blank. So having something that has a plan moving forward would actually be beneficial. And I don't think that that's specifically outlined in the current plan. The current plan is a little more general in nature.
Okay, so everyone take a look at the previous plan. Reach out if you want to on the internet for other counties and their plans. And next month, we'll put this on the agenda to talk about what we're looking for and the scope of work to move forward, to put together an RFP if that's what we want to do. Agreed?
Agree.
Agree.
Okay. Public comment. Is there any other new business? Public comment. I have one request by Andrew Nene, and I thank you for that phonetic spelling for me so that I could pronounce your name right. So, Andrew, if you'd like to come up and tell us where you reside, and you have 3 minutes. And
thanks for the clock. Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Andrew Nune, and I've been talking with Kevin Martis a little bit, Commissioner Martis, and he's been very helpful talking about the process. You know, like what you guys do here in the government. I have been a resident of the village of Deerfield, I guess just since August, because I earned my certificate of occupancy, but I bought property there in 2020 and submitted plans prior to the village of Deerfield government. It's interesting you guys are talking about master plans because my government wasn't giving me theirs. And I just found it on Region 2's website as I was looking for your master plan. They list them all. And my government wasn't even answered questions. I actually got trespassed because I asked them if they wanted me to copy their plan and make it public. It's actually already done. They just wouldn't answer me. So I wrapped the glass and then they trespassed me. And the problem is that they're not following state law by a long shot. They're violating the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act up and down. In fact, I'm learning about this act because they're breaking every rule. Now it makes sense because it's against me. I've been proposing a school and educational facilities at 442 East River Street since October 30th, 2020, when I also identified to them who the decision maker is for the special use permit I was requesting since that date to have farm animals on my 11-acre parcel to run 4-H programming. I have been denied over and over again and given the runaround. And so what I'm doing here today is I'm alerting the public, hello public, and all of you, to anybody you know, to warn anybody interested in moving to the village of Deerfield and expecting them to follow state law. That is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So just inform those people that they are gonna be up for a battle up their butt unless they know these people personally. So I'm just sounding that alarm, okay? So I can go into some details maybe, but I'm running out of time. So what I'm doing to you and to anyone present is just to solicit your input. I'm going to go to the prosecuting attorney's office to try to get her to enforce these laws. Now, I have contacts for personal lawyers, but it breaks my heart to spend my hard-earned money, which barely I've made because I've been prevented from teaching. I'm a Michigan certified teacher. Last job I had was in Ypsilanti, right? I was in Florida for 20 years. Just to give you perspective, I came back home to be closer to my family in Plymouth and Northville. Anyway, they violated all these rules. And so I'm asking you to maybe reach out to the prosecuting attorney's office, because I'll be talking to them the prosecuting attorney's office. I'm going to be presenting them the core evidence to try to get some help. I desperately need help for people to uphold the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act. I have many files on their, with the village government on record, but since they haven't successfully given me the FOIAs, I have to start doing them through the sheriff's office now to ensure compliance. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Commissioners' comments? Commissioner Martis?
Thank you. I just want to make clear to my colleagues that I have been in communication with this gentleman. I also have made it clear to him, and he knows this, that, we don't get involved in matters of local governmental affairs, but that he's certainly welcome to come and speak for 3 minutes on any topic he wishes. And so I'm glad he was able to do that, and I've encouraged him to work these things out with the village government. I reminded him also that I represent not just him, but all those members of village government as well in the district. So I know together they will find a collaborative way to find a resolution.
Any other commissioner comments? Announcements. I have one announcement. The Tecumseh products, we have, for the new commissioners, they may not be aware of it, but we have a subcommittee that meets with Tecumseh over the Tecumseh products property. That subcommittee is the chair, the vice chair, chairs of Ways and Means, and Commissioner Stimson, being in Commissioner Stimson's district, along with the administrator. And that committee will be meeting here shortly, preparing for our meeting with Tecumseh. So you'll be hearing from the administrator for those people. We'd like to schedule that meeting sooner than later. Any other announcements? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
Move.
A motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Martis. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Oh,